Okay, so it's starting here. Ah, we're live.
All right, perfect. All right, very good. Frank, it has been, well, first of all, welcome to Monza. Arrivederci a tutti. Una bella, what do you even say race? How do we say race in Italian? Giro. No, Giro is like a go around. Whatever. Um, it's been a crazy week in Formula One, friend. We thought that last week was going to be crazy, coming off we went from Spa to the Netherlands, but this week the news has been everywhere. Starting off the week with Valtteri Bottas moving from Mercedes to Alpha, right? And then we got the news that George Russell would be taking Valtteri's seat at Mercedes. And then Williams would retain Latifi, but also add Alex Albon from effectively Red Bull. From essentially, he's the reserve driver of Red Bull, right? So, but in any case, uh, here we are. This is probably the most exciting. Um, this is going to be one of the more exciting weekends, I have to say. These sprint races are fantastic. It's going to be 18 laps, 100 kilometers of Monza to see who ends up first, and we're going to get a formation lap here, just as if it's a normal race. You know, the FIA insists that this is not a race, but I think if you ask the drivers at this point, they would tell you we're racing.
Yeah, I would 100% call this a race. It's pretty much, I wouldn't even really call it an extension of qualifying per se. And looking at just the driving and all the different things that have gone on, it's really interesting to see. Red Bull actually has an option at the end of the year to bring Albon back after Williams too, so they're leaving that option open for them as well. It's going to be it's quite fascinating. Valtteri Bottas basically told or shown the door, and then today he gets pole, right? So granted, they did do an engine swap, so he will start from the back tomorrow. And Lewis and Max are also looking to do engine swaps. They may do them in Sochi due to the track, and it's easier to pass on that track. The Mercedes engine actually has higher degradation, higher mileage degradation over time, which is why they are actually needing to replace the engine unit. It's going to be their fourth one of the season, and they're going to need one more to end it to finish out the season strong enough, is basically what they're saying. Red Bull in a very similar situation as well.
Yeah, in a similar situation, but also because of incidents in Silverstone and Hungary, almost being forced into this change. Right, they had to basically completely change the car after Hungary. No, after Silverstone, that was completely unrecoverable, and maybe the Hungary one was not as bad, but yeah, it's not clear to me if you take a penalty after every change past the third, or just
No,
it's a
just
one
yeah,
time.
every change after the third.
Every time you change after the third.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
change one more time, and that's basically it. You don't want to
Right.
risk
Okay.
it one more time. And so, to be honest with you, as Pole kind of stands it, as the situations stand right now at this race and in the formation lap, as we're getting to the grid right now, looks like there's a lot of seats in Monza. Granted, this isn't the full race today yet, so the Italians may not be all up in arms just yet. But fascinating spot. Max definitely was not going to be able to put up the qualifying times needed to actually get on pole, but being third on this track is actually not the worst thing in the world because you get the slipstream of the two cars in front of you, and then you're carrying more speed for pretty much the entire lap. So it'll be very interesting, especially in a sprint format right here. This actually may fall into the hands of Max in the sense that he's able to at least get in front of Lewis or maybe even Bottas with this slipstream and only for 15 laps. Then again, you are much rather be in Mercedes position where you have 1-2 locked out.
Yeah, I mean, it is known as the Temple of Speed, and this track just as straight. It has one of the fewest turns in all of Formula One.
And here you
for,
go. You
for a
already
track.
see Max trying to come on the inside. Then Lewis is going to try to cover Lando. Lando's going to push, and both of the McLarens are trying to find more space. They're going. The McLarens are going to be able to actually get in front, and then Lewis is going to find himself really far back. Max is going to find himself in second. I can't tell if that's Ricardo or Lando, but they're right next to them. They're right next to each other. And then it looks like the AlphaTauri is actually getting in front of the Mercedes there. Or no, the Honda. Yeah, that's Gasly. Gasly has damage on his wing. There goes the wing. No!
Oh, he's gone. Oh, and he's into the barrier. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is that Pierre? I feel so bad.
That's definitely Pierre.
Oh, that's not his
Oh
fault.
goodness. Oh, we have another one behind.
Oh, in the back
Is
as
that a
well.
Williams? No, that's an Alpha. No, I don't even.
It's Kubica, I think.
It's
Well, we
Kubica,
will
yeah.
get a restart
Kubica.
then, basically.
Yeah, we will have a
Oh,
restart, and Pierre will not be restarting. My goodness, that
I want to see where the contact came from. Hold on here.
that was like
It's on the
a,
radio. Or there was a thing.
Oh, actually, he took part of the barrier with him. Ooh. Let's see. So the wing. Oh,
he clips the back of the
Lando.
McLaren. Yeah.
Yeah. And now the wing is basically damaged, and at this point, look at all the sparks there on the left-hand side. This is I wonder if he knows.
Yeah, he knows. You can see him when he's driving. You can see how the steering wheel's shaking the whole time,
okay.
and he's trying to like keep it incorrect,
Yeah,
and he has no choice.
He has no.
He actually, honestly, he
been
did a
worse.
really good job of like not damaging the car that much.
The car
I
might be
mean, the
able to
car,
run
like,
tomorrow with
yeah,
the
it
suspension
doesn't.
change. Wow, wait, what happened to Hamilton?
Yeah, so he got squeezed by both of the McLaren. We have to see again. It's actually kind of nice to get her. And then Sonoda,
Sonoda
clips. That's definitely not. That's not Kubica's fault there, but he definitely got clipped in the back, 100% by Sonoda there. But we definitely want to see a restart of the. Wait, this isn't.
No,
Oh, this is Sonoda. Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I was like, that's not Gasly.
Like I said, this is very much a race. This is very much a race, and the crazy thing about this is that you get all the lap 1 antics before the actual event, as we saw there. But yeah, I definitely do want to see a restart here. Bottas will control the restart here, given the yellow flag. And yeah, Pierre's car being unceremoniously dragged out by the green crane.
Monza last year. We are on lap 2 of this sprint qualifier here.
All right, so here you go. Here's your replay. Oh, I see. You know, Verstappen has gotten launches off the start.
Yeah, they get the much better starts every single time.
Way better than Hamilton.
Yeah, I would say every single time he gets a better start than he does.
Look, Gasly even overtook Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I was saying it was so unfortunate for Gasly, because he was literally in such a good spot, and he's been driving so well the entire time. So it's just really kind of unfortunate. The right doesn't get any grip. He tries to go for the cutoff. He can't. Then he sees that Lando's on the inside. Lando's going to overtake. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, and then Ricardo just.
Yeah, Ricardo just slides in. Yeah, perfectly. That was a really nice move there by Daniel on the inside. Actually, I think that may have been Lando, because I think. I don't know actually. We still haven't seen necessarily.
But this is Lando's position.
Yeah, on the inside.
Oh my gosh, they go 3 wide going into that one. Super aggressive by Lando. I love it.
Yeah, Lando just goes on the inside. Wow, that's or the outside. That's crazy. And while Bottas is just hanging out in front.
Well, what's crazy is at this point, Verstappen has pole.
Yes, exactly. So the work is done.
The work is done. Yeah. The damage has been done.
Exactly. 100%. The damage has been done necessarily for Mercedes. This is possibly the worst thing that possibly could happen.
Yeah, because now Lewis has to start in traffic. Like, he's 5th now, but he has to restart 5th. It could get worse. This is just really unfortunate for Gasly. Winner
It's
of
not
this
really
race
his
from 2
fault.
years ago. No, it's just aggressive wheel-to-wheel racing, and he unfortunately just comes out the worst for it.
Like the McLaren braked way hard.
They might be able to get away with just a left front suspension here. He might still be able to race tomorrow.
No,
At least he'll be
I
in
think
front of
he won't.
Bottas.
No, he won't have the gearbox or anything. He'll
Right.
be fine for tomorrow.
He'll be able to race tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean he'll start from the back, but
Well, he'll start in front of Bottas.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and then here, this is Bottas is basically just need it. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you hold off Verstappen or anything, really, at this point. Like, it's Lewis needs to make up the laps on the other cars. He needs to actually. The problem is not even Verstappen right now. It's the two McLarens that are sitting in front of him that are wicked fast around this track.
Yeah, the McLarens have come out
Yeah,
firing.
the high rakes. It's the high speed tracks that they do extremely well on.
The table sort of turned last week after Zandvoort, where you have Verstappen now up 3 points in the drivers' championship, but the McLarens did not have a good showing. Ricardo finished out of the points, Lando finished down in 10th, and then the Ferraris in the constructors' championship leapt over Ferrari. So McLaren trying to get the points back, basically in Ferrari's home turf. And we have the green flag here, and the restart as Bottas just flies, just sends it at this point. And Verstappen behind him, and we have this nice procession of cars through the restart. I don't think we're gonna see this.
I don't think much. Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, in the back you are. I don't know. I don't necessarily know what's going on in the back there.
Is Leclerc gonna go after?
Oh!
Is the question.
I thought Vettel and Alonso almost hit each other there.
I'm looking at Perez down at 10th too. He's got to make a.
Yeah, Perez needs to make his moves up as well. He did not. I don't think he had a great start because I'm pretty sure he qualified a little higher than that. I thought. Or no, he actually didn't because he was dragging. He was the airspace for Verstappen to be able to get the lap. So you are right. That's why he's actually in the back. Russell's going to make the move there on Mick. And Kubica actually is able to still continue the race, which is actually kind of nice. The Ferraris, 5 or 6 and 7 besides Hamilton, don't necessarily see them causing an issue for Hamilton at all.
No, right now they're still within a second, so they would have DRS, but Leclerc is sort of in hot pursuit right now. Not really making up much ground. Bottas does get the fastest lap here at a 1:23 so far, but it looks like there is decent space between each of these cars. If anything, you're going to have
here's Checo maybe trying to make a move here on one of the Astons. No, he's not able to.
Not around that one. He might have them on the next one, though. The Astons in their 007 livery.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. I have to say, it is pretty neat.
Checo, I think he's going to try to make another attempt at this here, going along the. Let's see if he gets the DRS and he gets the slipstream there. Ricardo has jumped Norris. I think the McLarens have.
Yeah, they've swapped. They've flipped positions. When he took the inside line, Lando took the outside. I think that's where it kind of flipped him. Ricardo got an incredible start. Ricardo in the last couple weeks, I think he's figured something out in this McLaren that he didn't know beforehand, or at least he's more comfortable with it and trusts the car more. He's been absolutely flying. Typically, there's been a bigger gap between him and Norris, but yeah, but it's actually flipped this time.
Yeah.
This is the future Mercedes driver trying to see through his helmet cam here, which is actually pretty neat. But it's kind of funny because he's actually taller, so you're looking like down rather than he's trying to make a move here, and he is going to make a move, and he does make the move there on Mazepin.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Friday didn't have a Saturday didn't have a very good Friday, but
Yeah, I mean, he made it. This car, their car also is going to struggle necessarily in in this
with
track
just
in
the speed.
particular. So I mean, he made it luckily into Q2 because Sonoda's track
Time,
was
yeah.
deleted. So that was actually pretty lucky for him. He actually ended up into a better situation before. And then this is going to be basically Hamilton's going to do his best to be able to get better pull or track position for tomorrow, but he also has to get in front of Norris, which, to be completely honest with you, is probably not going to be very easy.
This is going to be a challenge. Does not want to give up this spot for sure. Although, like, we have seen Norris and Hamilton go back and forth a little bit this season.
Yeah, a few times. Typically, the Mercedes just kind of skirts on by, though.
Yeah, they do. They do.
The difference
Slightly.
here is that Hamilton has DRS and Norris does not.
Although Norris could get it off his teammates.
Yeah, if they were technically, yes. That would
Because
actually be a pretty clever thing to do. Is like, hey, Ricardo, slow down so then Norris is DRS, and then you can keep him away
exactly,
for at
right?
least like 10 laps. Yeah, it could work 100%. Instead of just
Because
leaving him completely on an island, yeah, I don't disagree.
the worst thing to happen right now is that Hamilton passes them both.
Correct, yeah.
But I don't know if McLaren's going to go for it. That would have to be a call from Zach, I guess. So far, so good though. For
He
Norris,
seems
despite the
fine,
DRS.
yeah. He doesn't seem like he's under.
It's incredible how much speed they carry through these corners here in this track. It's phenomenal, actually.
It's actually pretty insane. They don't look like they're going 200 miles an hour, but they definitely are.
They are through the turns. It's just like
He
max
still has
throttle.
the space, yeah. It's just
Which is
0.7.
crazy. It's actually telling you that these McLarens are perhaps even faster than we thought.
Yeah, because that's the other
DRS
thing too, right? When you put them on qualifying and then you finally put them on a track, and then they actually have to race against the other car, it is slightly different. I mean, they were doing 19s, like 119s in Q2, I think, yesterday. Or I think someone got like a high 119, and now they're doing 23s. So it's like everybody slowed down. You can kind of start like keeping up in that sense.
Yeah. Well, that does always happen because of the fuel.
Yes, exactly. They're also slower because the cars are weighing more. But for these sprint laps, they only have enough fuel for the 18 laps. So there are actually the cars are pretty light
That's
right now.
true. The quality laps too, but they use the charger, the battery.
Oh yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
That's in and out. That's the other thing too. They're also like stopping charging the battery using full horsepower and going back. When here
Right.
they're kind of consistently and trying to charge the battery throughout and kind of keep it more over it.
Still good, still pretty good though. I mean,
And
this
yeah,
has been
and I guess this is kind of right. Like if Hamilton doesn't actually feel like he can make the pass like 100%, there's no really point in taking that risk. Because if you
don't
mess
wanna
it,
end up
if
off
you
the
mess it
track.
up, then you end up off the track, and then you're at the end. So it is kind of that risk reward situation here. I can tell you now that the Ferraris are very comfortable where they are in 6 and
I
7.
really want to see the Ferraris try to make a move, but this is like very Italian. You just be like, domani.
Yeah, this is very much.
Tomorrow.
Let's just go for our little race around the track.
Let's
Everybody
go for
can.
a little spin.
Well, this is also a lot of the teams. Not that you can really touch the car at any certain point here, but
There's
you can.
Perez making a move.
You're gonna try go on the outside, but he's not gonna be able to.
Ooh, careful. Oh, he had to bail out of that move.
Yeah, he did,
He
but he
was gonna
gets in front of
enthrall.
him.
Yeah, but that's.
But I think
that's an
they
illegal
tell them
move.
to bring it back, right?
Yeah, he's got to give him the position.
You have to
back.
you have to let him pass again, I think. I mean, it doesn't look like he
Oh,
wants to
they're
let him
wheel
pass
to
though.
wheel. I don't know.
My goodness.
Okay.
I
that's
mean,
gonna be
yeah, that's.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, putting his elbows out there. I don't know about
Perez
that
moving
one.
up 2 spaces. He qualified in 10.
Yeah. Hey, the Italian himself doing really well
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Monza
that's
as
great.
always. Yeah, Checo told to give it back.
Okay, he did. Yeah, he did. I was gonna say that is definitely not allowed.
Yeah, it totally could not.
There's no space.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a really good aggressive move. There's nothing wrong with it. It like just didn't work out, so you had to give the position back. So like, okay, like whatever. You're not really. I
yeah,
mean,
I just
you're in
think
the
he
same
kind of
spot you were
he
before.
sort of misjudged that he was
That's
going to be able
true.
to
I
get
mean,
him there.
yes.
Now he's going to try it again.
Oh, that's so close. He
It
finally gets it.
does.
Oh, but he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
no, he's got
And
Alonso
Alonso
behind
is trying to lurk back there and seeing where he can. He's always sitting back there and looking where he can just move. Because for him, this is like, oh, I can make up 2 quick spaces here. And then now, oh, this is fascinating.
him. He's lurking. Nice. Yes. There's a ton of gravel out there on that turn.
Yeah, now Stroll. I mean, Stroll always finds himself in these situations. Sometimes I feel like he's always just in between so many of these cars that are trying to make moves, which is fine.
Looks like Verstappen just put in the
Put in the
fastest lap.
fastest lap there
And
too.
Hamilton still can't catch Norris. Either that, or he's, as you said, he's not actually
Yeah,
trying.
I bet he's trying to get close to him, but if he can't even consider it, then it's not even worth it, in my opinion.
Now, is Verstappen gonna? No, Verstappen doesn't have to try.
No,
Because he
Verstappen
has
literally
pole.
just needs to. Yeah, Verstappen literally just needs to walk the car back into the pits.
Right. Unless he actually just wants the pole. Well, it is worth an extra point.
Yeah, it's technically worth an extra point.
It's
Correct.
technically worth an extra point.
But at that
Actually,
point, you've
Hamilton
already.
is just out of the points right now.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
only
I was
points in
gonna.
the top 3.
I was gonna say you already just cancel out the points though because Hamilton's not getting any, so it doesn't really. I mean,
True.
it's one less, but and then here's Hamilton still gonna try to. I just still don't think he can make the move.
Well, in order to get to the points, he'd have to pass
Both. Yeah.
Well, he's got to make up 4.
But I mean, I guess in the Ferrari McLaren world, McLaren is definitely giving it to them with both having up in 3 and 4 while the Ferraris are 6 and 7. Because that technically is what they call their championship, is the battle between McLaren and Ferrari.
Absolutely, and it's looking really good for McLaren this weekend.
Mercedes saying that the tires, or that I think they're on softs. Or yeah, both of the McLarens on softs are going to drop off at a certain point, but still, drop off at what point? There's only 4. There's only 6 laps left. It's not like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like
Nah, he's still not close. He's still got a half second. He needs to almost get it down to like less than half a second to be able to consider
I see
it.
what you're saying. You're saying the McLarens on the soft tires are going to start degrading here around.
Yeah, but I mean, at a certain point, it's kind of like irrelevant.
It's a third. This is a third of the distance, so it's kind of close to being like a pit stop on soft tires. I would have thought you'd go to like, you'd probably go into the low 20s for the actual changeover. So it's actually pretty close for what you'd think a soft tire change is.
Zach Brown there, absolutely
Nervous.
feeling the nerves. It's kind of funny when they wear the mask because you can't like actually see their complete facial reactions and emotions, but it doesn't look. I just don't think the risk reward is necessarily there for just one spot, right? Like I don't.
Well, you'd need 2. Oh, you're saying just to pass Norris?
Yeah, even just to get in better position. But the problem is, so look who's behind him. It's the Ferraris, right? And like knowing the history of Hamilton's starts, like who's to say Leclerc or Sainz won't also pass him on the start?
Yeah, they could.
Right? Like his starts have never really been that good, and
a little wiggle.
It's very a weird spot for Hamilton starting down there in the traffic. Be pretty fascinating to see where he kind of ends up.
Worth pointing out that whilst this is a very good afternoon for Valtteri
Yeah, Bottas just chilling up in front.
Yeah, he does not need to do anything. He literally is out there for practice and just driving his way home. There's
The
Toto.
entire Mercedes, thinking how his entire Mercedes strategy has been destroyed.
Yep, pretty much. Exactly.
He's not
His
enjoying
his
himself.
entire plan is absolutely out the wazoo at this point.
Right. Because basically would have been to have Lewis finish second and then just have pole position by default, and that all went out the
I don't
window
know.
within about
Or
5 seconds.
I wonder. I wonder if the. Oh, there's no actual live like track map. The
Oh, are
website
they
doesn't
not?
have one.
They're not tracking it for the sprint. Yeah, maybe not. They'll definitely have it for tomorrow. 210, 214, 15. Wow, 200. So yeah, 15 miles an hour here on the straightaway.
'Cause
Yeah, I don't.
Wow, the get up when they like go right back up. So the car kind of launched itself when it kicked up into higher gear. Well, we had a very exciting lap one.
Which I feel like is most of these sprints. I feel like
Yeah,
most
it
of these
was just the
sprints are always
sprint.
just going to be an exciting kind of lap
Oh!
one.
Hamilton's been losing the rear. That's a beautiful little overhead view here.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, the question is, does Verstappen actually want the points? Want the extra point?
I mean, yeah, he would want to take it as much as he could, but if it necessarily can't get it, then he can't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, he loses the rear here. This is the Hamilton one. A little concerning, I think. A little concerning.
He's a little bit high
Oof.
on the line, but yeah, just lit up the rear tires.
I just wonder if Lando Norris isn't getting down the straight.
Perez and Stroll under investigation now. Yeah, well, we knew that was coming.
Yeah, we sort of. I would say that
Although,
was
Close enough for Norris to benefit.
Yes, definitely.
expected. Expected.
Yeah, expected, but I don't think anything's going to come of it because Red Bull gave the place back.
Yeah, exactly. Once you, if you kind of give the
What are you
place
gonna-
back,
what are
it's
you
a
gonna do?
little. Yeah. At that point, it's just like, all right,
Yeah.
like, thank you.
You'll see that Perez and Stroll, that incident at the first chicane.
What are you going to further penalize him for what? Like there was no contact.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's no reason to.
Be gratuitous. Let's see. Although Perez has like actually passed him. Let's see if he can try to get himself up into 8th here. As he's hunting Giovinazzi. He's got 3 laps to do it. I guess that'll be the interesting one. The other sort of concern for Ferrari, though, would be to have Perez just come up and eat you up here, too. Which my guess is that he would probably actually be able to pull that off during the real race, especially if he gets Giovinazzi here and puts himself into 8th.
He really wants to be able to move up one more spot and start behind the Ferraris. I think would be ideal.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's gonna really cause a mess for Hamilton, especially if he gets kind of stuck.
He wants
in
to
the
be able to
Ferrari
get. Yeah, he
mix-up.
wants to be able to get as close in that mix as possible.
Yep.
And he's got 2 more laps to be able to make the move, so there's a possibility here.
Is he gonna give it a shot? No, not here. Not close enough.
No, he's got it on maybe the next lap or the lap after that.
Yeah, he's running out of time. I'm looking further down the order too here. Russell currently going to be out-qualified by his teammate. And Sonoda, Mazepin, Kubica, Schumacher, nothing else really going towards the bottom of the order. Stroll, Alonso, Vettel, Ocon, Diz, Astons, and the Alpines.
Right at the back of the grid.
Go ahead. Michael, why is that under investigation? Because the stewards are having a look if you gave the position.
What are they saying on the radio?
And B, if there was no lasting advantage of it further so they're just having a much better.
It wasn't. It was a whole other straight before we got to a DRS zone and overtook. And also, Michael, we have to have a period of time to make sure that giving the position back is the right thing to do. And as soon as we did that, we gave it up in a very vulnerable way into turn 8.
No problems. Thank you. I'll pass that on.
Case for the defense.
Thank you.
Jonathan Wheatley's forward.
Basically, they're just looking into the fact that if there's any lasting advantage on Checo, like having taken the position or anything not, and then Kevin or Horner's basically saying like, look, we literally gave it back in an exposed position on turn 8. There's nothing here.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
And they said, yeah, you let him through, but you still had an advantage over him.
So they're just kind of necessarily looking at how
Oh,
long
I
the advantage
see, I
necessarily
see, I
takes
see.
place. So,
Time to think about whether we
but-
give that back or not.
Yeah, because he doesn't pass any other cars.
Quite clearly,
yeah, no, 100%, exactly.
But, well, let's see what they come up with. But he
I
seems
see
to
what.
have given that
Okay,
race
yeah.
immediately
Okay.
back.
No further action is what they've come
But
up with.
yeah, it seems like there's going to be no further action. It
Right.
doesn't even look like Checo's going to be able to get close enough to the Alfa Romeo, though. That time is now up to 1 second, maybe possibly in one more lap, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, he's gone the other way. It's a little concerning, actually. You'd think the Red Bull would have more pace, but the Alphas have really brought it out today.
Just one Alpha.
Well, one Alpha. I mean, they're using the same engine as Ferrari, aren't they? So,
Yeah, it is the same Ferrari engine.
so there you go. 6, 7, and 8 all together. Same engine. Valtteri gonna just process his way to the checkered flag here after this lap. Take his sprint win.
Yeah, and then Max is going to gladly take second here and then take pole position for the race. Where,
Yep.
I mean, if you're Mercedes, you're almost like, damn, should we really have changed Bottas's engine at this point? We probably really could have used having him out in front, but then again, he probably wouldn't be there if he didn't have the engine swap.
So have they already made the swap?
Yeah, here's already swapped the engine on
Already swapped
Bottas's
it.
car.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, like, maybe you don't.
Indeed, and I have to say, when you go back to the start, the bravery of Norris heading down
Wow,
towards
the gap-
green wall that was
So the
coming
gap
towards the
between
racetrack.
Hamilton and Norris like didn't really change all that much. It kind of stayed within a second, and granted, maybe they weren't pushing, but like the gap between that pack and then the front two really extended.
Yeah,
Like
the gap.
Verstappen and Bottas are racing their own.
They're in their own race, exactly,
Yeah.
which is the problem for Hamilton, because if the Red Bull's that much faster than the McLarens, and Lewis has to sit behind the McLarens the entire time, the gap is just going to almost be too big, and then Max is just going to be able to stretch it out.
Yeah. All right, so there you go.
Yeah, there we go. That is the sprint there, and that's going to be the lineup. We're going to have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris, Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz, and Giovinazzi rounding out the top 7.
Yes.
And
then
Bottas is going to be at the end.
Perez. Bottas, despite
Really
his
unfortunate. The one victim of the sprint today was Gasly. Really unfortunate for him. Like, just generally not really entirely his fault.
No, it's just an unfortunate incident there off the start. Ends up rear-ending Norris's McLaren, and the front wing gets the worst of it. I do think he'll be able to make up some positions tomorrow, though. He does seem to just have the raw speed, and he's been racing really, really well. So, yeah, to your point, it is unfortunate. Kind of crimps the momentum there. Well, Ricciardo's going to get himself a little medal.
Yeah, there are. The McLarens are going to do it in a really good spot. All right, well, folks, that was the Monza Italian sprint that we have, and then we will. I'll throw up I'll put the pictures up so you can watch any of the interviews here afterwards. But I don't know 100% we're going to have a stream tomorrow, but we will 100% have it on Discord. So you will be able to watch the race. Don't know if we'll have a stream along with it.
All right, either way. So it should be an interesting one. We'll see what points Hamilton can make up. But there you go, an extra 2 points for Verstappen to extend his lead from 3 to 5 in the championship, getting himself back up there. And yeah, we're good.
All right, take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for an exciting